Hey guys, it's Vanessa with Up and Growing, and we're going to be making this super sweet macaron. You guys can use any styrofoam. I'm going to use the Dollar Tree styrofoam discs and cut them down. You can do any size. I do like the thickness of these discs. And then I'm just removing the hard lines on the styrofoam. I used a cookie cutter to cut that down, and now I'm going to roll out some foam clay. I'm going to use some super glue to attach my clay. You guys can use some tacky glue, whatever you have. So I just ran a little super glue on the inside there where I'm closing off the macaron. And then I'm going to roll out a thin rope just to attach around the outside edge of my cookie. I'm going to use a chippy brush to give it some texture and make sure that that is nice and attached. You guys can use a crumbled up ball of aluminum foil. And now I'm going to do the filling for the macaron a little different than I've done for you guys before. I'm going to use all clay instead of styrofoam. You can do that as well. Those tutorials are here. I'm going to roll it out and I'm going to cut it out with a bigger cookie cutter than I cut my styrofoam, because now that's a little bigger, adding the clay and that outside piece. So just size it up. I'm going to cut it pretty thick, and then I'm going to super glue it right inside of the macaron. Now I'm going to go back with my chippy brush and I'm going to close off those spaces using that piece of clay that I added around the outside. I'm going to texture the inside, so I'm using that brush to manipulate the clay from the inside and the outside to close that all up. Now when I dry them, I flip them. I dry one side for a few hours and then I go back and flip it. I want nice flat tops and bottoms. I'm going to move on to the next step, onto a dry macaron. I'm going to make some icing. You guys can just stop there and not do all this that I'm going to do. I'm going to be using a flour cookie cutter. Just put it up to your macaron for size. And then because that macaron is dry, I am going to be using some super glue to attach that icing. And then I'm just going to make some small sprinkles. And then I'm going to super glue a kebab through that macaron, and I'm going to attach my gingerbread. I'm using one of my bigger ones. I do have tutorials here for the smaller ones. It's the same technique. You just make it bigger. I hope I've inspired you guys. Thanks.